People will smile, people will paint themselves as legitimate businessmen. Anyone who gets in their way becomes a target.
The world of organized crime is a dark and dangerous place, filled with individuals who command fear and respect. These individuals have risen to power through ruthless tactics and have built criminal empires that span the globe. With connections to government officials, military personnel, and powerful politicians, they wield immense power and influence. Brace yourself as we explore the shocking and sensational stories of the most dangerous mafia bosses in 2024. Semen Yanovich. In the criminal underworld, power is not easily attained. It requires cunning, ruthlessness, and a strategic mind. Semen Yanovich, born on June 30th, 1946, in Kiev, Ukrainian SSR, Soviet Union, possessed all these qualities and more. From an early age, Yanovich showed a knack for manipulation and a thirst for power that would eventually propel him to become one of the most feared and dangerous mafia bosses in the world. Yanovic's criminal career began in the 1980s when he became the key money laundering contact for the Solntsevskaya Bratva, one of the largest Russian mafia syndicates. With his sharp business acumen and ability to navigate the complex world of finance, Yanovich quickly rose through the ranks, building a highly structured criminal organization that operated much like an American mafia family. What set Yanovich apart from his peers was his strategic thinking and his ability to adapt to changing circumstances. As his power grew, so did his criminal activities. Yanovich was accused by the FBI of engaging in a wide range of illegal activities, including fraud, racketeering, money laundering, arms trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, murder, smuggling, prostitution, securities fraud, and more. His criminal empire knew no boundaries, operating in multiple countries and continents. Yanovic's ability to orchestrate complex schemes and evade law enforcement agencies made him a formidable adversary. In addition to his involvement in illegal activities, Yanovich was known for his connections to prominent government officials, military personnel, and powerful politicians. These alliances provided him with protection and allowed him to operate with relative ease. Yanovic's ability to manipulate and influence individuals in positions of power further solidified his status as one of the most dangerous mafia bosses in the world. Despite numerous attempts by law enforcement agencies to bring him to justice, Yanovich has managed to evade capture for decades. In 2009, he was placed on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, a testament to the severity of his crimes and the danger he poses. The State Department's transnational organized crime rewards program now offers a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to his arrest and conviction. This significant reward serves as an incentive for individuals with knowledge of Yanovich's whereabouts to come forward and aid in his capture. The story of Semen Yanovich serves as a stark reminder of the power and influence wielded by dangerous mafia bosses. Mancuso, Michael the Nose Mancuso, the notorious American mobster, has gained infamy as the most dangerous mafia boss in 2024. As the head of the Bonanno crime family, one of the 5 families in New York City, Mancuso's reign of terror has struck fear into the hearts of both his rivals and his own associates. During the early 1980s, before his involvement with the Bonanno crime family, Mancuso found himself aligned with the notorious East Harlem Purple Gang. This gang, known for its violent and ruthless tactics, operated in the heart of East Harlem, engaging in various criminal activities such as drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. It was during this time that Mancuso honed his skills and earned a reputation for his cunning and ruthlessness. However, Mancuso's criminal journey really began when, in a fit of rage, he fatally shot his wife and callously left her lifeless body on a bench in front of Jacobi Hospital in the Bronx. He was swiftly apprehended and faced the consequences of his heinous crime. In court, Mancuso pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of his wife and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. As Mancuso began his prison sentence, little did he know that his time behind bars would only serve to further fuel his thirst for power and control after serving his prison sentence. In 2004, acting boss Vincent Basciano recognized Mancuso's potential and promoted him to the position of acting underboss. This marked a significant turning point in Mancuso's criminal career as he ascended to a position of power within one of the most notorious crime families in New York City. In May 2005, Joseph Massino, the former boss of the Bonanno family turned government informant, implicated Mancuso in the murder of Gerlando Sciascia. Sciascia, a rival mobster, was brutally killed in 1999, and his death was attributed to Mancuso's involvement. This revelation further solidified Mancuso's reputation as a dangerous and lethal figure within the criminal underworld. Despite the alleged order for his own murder, Mancuso managed to evade the plot and continue his reign as the head of the Bonanno family. His ability to outmaneuver his rival rivals and maintain his position of power highlighted his resourcefulness and cunning. However, Mancuso's criminal activities eventually caught up with him. In 2006, he was arrested in Las Vegas for ordering the murder of associate Randolph Pizzolo and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Despite his incarceration, Mancuso's influence within the Bonanno family remained strong. Through his Bronx associates and underboss Thomas DiFiore, he continued to exert control and ensure the family's operations thrived. In March 2019, after serving his 15-year sentence, Mancuso was released from federal custody. His release marked a new chapter in his criminal career as he returned to the streets with a renewed sense of power and determination. However, Mancuso's freedom was short-lived. In March 2022, he was arrested and placed under investigation for violating the terms of his supervised release by associating with members of organized crime, a direct violation of his release conditions. In July 2023, he was sentenced to a further 11 months in prison for these violations. However, the story of Michael the Nose Mancuso does not end here. As of now, he is still serving his sentence, but the criminal underworld is ever-changing, and the future remains uncertain. Little Robert D'Onofrio. Born into the infamous Colombo crime family, Little Robert D'Onofrio's journey from a young wise guy to a feared and respected leader is nothing short of extraordinary. From a young age, D'Onofrio witnessed the inner workings of the Colombo crime family. He saw the brutal power struggles and deadly conflicts that plagued the organization. It was in this environment that he learned the importance of loyalty and the consequences of betrayal. As a young man, D'Onofrio aligned himself with the rebel faction led by Victor Little Vic Orena. He fought alongside Arena's mobsters in the bloody Colombo family war of the early 1990s, displaying a fierce loyalty to his comrades. However, in a shocking turn of events, D'Onofrio switched sides and joined forces with the Persico faction, led by the imprisoned boss Carmine Jr. Persico. This betrayal marked a turning point in D'Onofrio's criminal career. He proved his loyalty to the Persico faction by participating in plots to eliminate rival mobsters, including the notorious William Wild Bill Cutolo. Although these attempts were unsuccessful, they showcased D'Onofrio's willingness to do whatever it took to protect his family and rise through the ranks of the Colombo crime family. D'Onofrio's reputation as a cunning and ruthless mobster grew with each passing year. He navigated the treacherous waters of the criminal underworld, avoiding the attention of law enforcement and rival families. His ability to maintain a low profile while exerting control over the family's illicit activities earned him the respect and admiration of his peers. In 2024, D'Onofrio emerged as the acting boss of the Colombo crime family, following the conviction of Theodore Skinny Teddy Persico and the death of Andrew Mush Russo. With his ascension to power, D'Onofrio solidified his position as the most dangerous mafia boss in New York City. His iron grip on the family allowed him to expand their criminal operations, including arms trafficking, drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering. But it is not just D'Onofrio's criminal activities that make him so dangerous. It is his ability to maintain a veneer of respectability and charm that sets him apart from his rivals. He is known for his sharp wit, charismatic personality, and strategic thinking. These qualities have allowed him to manipulate both allies and enemies, ensuring his continued dominance in the criminal underworld. However, D'Onofrio's reign is not without its challenges. The Colombo crime family has faced numerous setbacks in recent years, including federal racketeering cases and members turning government witnesses. Despite these obstacles, D'Onofrio has managed to keep the family intact and maintain its criminal activities. As we look to the future, it remains to be seen how long D'Onofrio's reign will last. The Colombo crime family is known for its internal conflicts and power struggles, and history has shown that no boss is safe from betrayal or violence. But for now, Little Robert D'Onofrio stands as the most dangerous mafia boss in 2024, a figure who commands respect and strikes fear into the hearts of all who cross his path. Dominico Chalu. Dominico Chalu, born in Palermo, Sicily in 1947, would grow up to become one of the most notorious and dangerous mafia bosses in 2024. From a young age, Chalu was exposed to the influence of organized crime, as the streets of Palermo were ruled by powerful mafia families. It was in this environment that Chalu learned the ways of the underworld and began his journey into a life of crime. Chalu's rise to power began with his involvement in the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful and feared criminal organizations in New York City. He started as a low-level enforcer, carrying out various tasks for the family, but it wasn't long before his ambition and ruthlessness caught the attention of the higher-ups. In 1990, Chalu's loyalty and dedication to the Gambino family caught the attention of the notorious boss, John Gotti. Recognizing Chalu's potential, Gotti made the decision to induct him as a made man, or full member, into the Gambino family. This induction was a significant turning point in Chalu's criminal career, as it solidified his position within the family and granted him him access to the inner workings of the organization. As a made man, Cefalu became part of an elite circle of trusted individuals who had proven their loyalty and commitment to the family. This distinction came with a set of privileges and responsibilities that set him apart from the lower-ranking members. Cefalu now had the authority to give orders, make important decisions, and participate in the family's most lucrative criminal activities. One of Cefalu's main responsibilities as a made man was his role within the Sicilian Zip Crew, which he had been a part of since his early days in the Gambino family. Under the leadership of Captain Pasquale Conti, the crew operated in Queens and Brooklyn, overseeing various criminal enterprises. Cefalu's rise through the ranks of the crew was swift and relentless, as he proved himself to be a valuable asset to the organization. Cefalu's involvement in the crew brought him into contact with some of the most dangerous and influential figures in the criminal underworld. He forged alliances, built connections, and established a network of loyal associates who would help him climb even higher within the ranks of the Gambino family. In 1996, he was again convicted of criminal contempt and sentenced to 33 months in prison. But even behind bars, Cefalu's influence within the Gambino family remained strong. After his release from prison in 1999, Dominico Chalu's influence within the Gambino crime family continued to grow. His unwavering loyalty and dedication to the family had earned him the respect and admiration of his fellow members. In 2005, Cefalu's loyalty was rewarded when he was named the family underboss by street boss Jackie D'Amico, a former ally of John Gotti. However, Cefalu's reign as underboss was not without its challenges. In February 2008, he found himself at the center of a major investigation known as Operation Old Bridge. This operation targeted the Gambino family and aimed to dismantle its criminal activities, particularly its involvement in racketeering, conspiracy, and extortion. In a surprising turn of events, Cefalu accepted a plea agreement from the prosecution, which allowed him to plead guilty to the charges in exchange for a reduced sentence. The plea agreement spared Cefalu from a potentially lengthy prison term. Instead, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison, a relatively short sentence considering the gravity of the charges. This outcome was seen by many as a testament to Cefalu's ability to navigate the legal system and protect his interests. His reputation as a powerful and respected leader remained intact, and his release from prison in November 2009 was met with anticipation and speculation about his next move. Little did anyone know that Cefalu's next move would be his most significant yet. In July 2011, he ascended to the position of boss of the Gambino crime family, replacing Peter Gotti, who had been sentenced to life imprisonment in 2002. As the official boss of the Gambino crime family, Cefalu's power and influence reached new heights. Cefalu's reign as boss was marked by a return to traditional Mafia values. Loyalty, respect, and honor were paramount, and those who crossed him or the family faced severe consequences. His ability to maintain order and loyalty within the ranks solidified his reputation as the most dangerous Mafia boss in 2024. Liborio Salvatore Bomo. In the treacherous world of organized crime, one name stands above the rest: Liborio Salvatore Bomo. With a reputation for ruthlessness and cunning, Bomo has solidified his position as the most dangerous Mafia boss of our time. From the moment he took his first breath, he was destined for a life of crime. Bomo's father, Salvatore Bomo, a notorious and powerful Mafia organization, was deeply entrenched in the Genovese crime family. Growing up, Bomo was surrounded by the influence of organized crime, with his father and other high-ranking members of the family serving as his mentors. But Bomo's story took an unexpected twist. He was not just any ordinary mobster. He was a double cousin of Genovese associate Liborio Thomas Bomo. Their fathers were brothers, and their mothers were sisters. This unique family connection would later lead to confusion and mistaken identities by law enforcement. As a young man, Bomo quickly proved himself to be a force to be reckoned with. He was initiated into the Genovese crime family in 1977, solidifying his position within the organization. Under the watchful eye of his father and other seasoned mobsters, Bomo honed his skills and learned the ins and outs of the criminal underworld. But it wasn't until the early 1990s that Bomo's true potential began to shine. Vincent Gigante, the boss of the Genovese crime family, was indicted in the infamous Windows case, leaving a power vacuum within the organization. It was during this period of transition that Kenneth McCabe, an organized crime investigator for the United States Attorney's Office in Manhattan, Manhattan, identified Bellomo as the acting boss of the crime family. With this newfound power, Bellomo's influence within the Genovese crime family grew exponentially. He became the driving force behind the organization's operations, making critical decisions and ensuring the family's continued dominance in the criminal underworld. Bellomo's cunning and ruthlessness earned him the respect and fear of his subordinates and rivals alike. But as Bellomo's power grew, so did the attention of law enforcement. In June 1996, he was indicted on Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO charges, including the murders of two mobsters, Ralph DeSimone and Antonio Di Lorenzo. Both DeSimone and Di Lorenzo were brutally killed under Bellomo's orders, as the Genovese leadership believed they were government informants. In February 1997, faced with overwhelming evidence, Bellomo made a difficult decision. Prosecutors offered him a plea deal, dropping the murder charges in exchange for his guilty plea to extorting payoffs from a construction union and a garbage hauling company. Bellomo accepted the deal, knowing that it would result in a 10-year prison sentence. The walls of the prison couldn't contain Bellomo's influence. Even behind bars, he continued to exert control over the Genovese crime family. His power and authority within the organization remained intact, and he continued to make critical decisions regarding the family's criminal activities. But Bellomo's criminal empire extended far beyond traditional mafia operations, engaging in money laundering, drug trafficking, and even cybercrime. His ability to adapt and evolve with the changing times made him a formidable adversary for law enforcement agencies around the world. As we fast forward to 2024, Liborio Salvatore Bellomo stands as the most dangerous mafia boss of our time. His rise to power, involvement in the Genovese crime family, and ability to evade law enforcement have solidified his position as a force to be reckoned with in the criminal underworld. Vittorio Little Vic Musso. Next, we delve into the dark and dangerous world of notorious mafia boss Vittorio Little Vic Musso. Known for his violent and ruthless leadership style, Musso's reign as the head of the Lucchese crime family in the late 1980s and early 1990s is considered one of the bloodiest periods in American mafia history. In the gritty streets of New York City, a young boy named Vittorio Musso was born on November 4, 1934. Growing up in the tough neighborhood of Canarsie, Brooklyn, he was exposed to a life of crime from an early age. But little did anyone know that this boy would one day become one of the most dangerous mafia bosses in American history. Vittorio, or Little Vic as he would later be known, had a rough upbringing. Poverty and violence were a part of everyday life in his neighborhood. It was here that he first encountered the allure of the criminal underworld. As a teenager, Little Vic found himself drawn to the company of prominent mobsters such as Anthony Tony Ducks Corallo and Joseph Crazy Joe Gallo. These men would become influential figures in his life, shaping his path toward a life of organized crime. Through his association with these mobsters, Little Vic began to learn the ways of the underworld. He saw the power and wealth that came with being a part of the Mafia, and he wanted a piece of it for himself. In 1977, Little Vic's dreams became a reality when he became a made man in the Lucchese crime family. This marked his official entry into the world of organized crime, and he wasted no time in making a name for himself. Little Vic quickly rose through the ranks of the Lucchese crime family, earning the respect and fear of those around him. His intelligence, ruthlessness, and willingness to do whatever it took to get ahead set him apart from the rest. As the years went by, Little Vic's power and influence grew. He became known for his involvement in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. His violent and ruthless leadership style earned him a reputation as one of the most dangerous men in the Mafia. In 1987, Little Vic reached the pinnacle of his criminal career when he became the boss of the Lucchese crime family. This was a position of immense power and responsibility, and he was determined to solidify his control over the family. Under Little Vic's leadership, the Lucchese crime family flourished. He expanded their operations, bringing in more money and influence than ever before. But with this success came a dark side, as Little Vic's reign was marked by a trail of bloodshed and violence. The late 1980s and early 1990s would go down in history as one of the bloodiest periods in American Mafia history, and Little Vic was at the center of it all. His orders resulted in the deaths of numerous individuals, as he eliminated anyone who posed a threat to his power.